showed it to Congress and said, look, all of this other stuff, this Chinese medicine and homeopathy and all this is all nonsense. We need this is the era of science, and we can prove this with science. These drugs work, drugs and surgery, whatever it might be. And over the next 20, 30 years, they basically pushed everyone else out of the healthcare business. So we got a one-size-fits-all model. Unfortunately, it's not. It was also originally developed as what they call battlefield medicine. So it's for acute care and emergencies. And our medical system is the best in the world for that. And I'm sure here in the United States, it's probably better than anywhere. If you're in a car crash, something happens, you get bitten by your cat like that, we have the facilities to keep you alive and get you back on your feet. But it's not designed, it was never designed for health. It's just designed to take care of you when you're in bad shape. So all of the things they suggest, well, actually, they don't suggest anything. Like, as a practitioner myself, similar to acupuncture and Ayurvedic medicine, homeopathy, it's all these, the phrase is called energetic medicine. So it's the energy field, as Einstein said, and Bruce Lipton, that is controlling the matter. The chemical reactions in our body are controlled by our energy field, by energy flow through the meridians, through the chakras, through the fascia of the body. Tesla, and I think it was Tesla and a couple of others, have shown that our different organs serve different electrical functions. I mean, it's fascinating, and I wish there was more on this. Like, we have in our bodies diodes, semiconductors, liquid crystals. I mean, it's like we're a machine, but it's an organic machine. And that is not how medicine treats us. Though you can go get an ECG or an EKG. They know this energy is there because they measure it to check your heart or your brain or look at that. But these other modalities, natural medicine, really checks your energy flow. And what happens is if you have stress somewhere, stress could be from emotions, it could be from your food, it can be from your boss. A lot of things, environmental stress. Stress will affect the energy flow. So that's why these older traditional modalities are there to correct the energy flow so you don't get sick. You don't have symptoms expressing themselves. And
let me ask you to support you on that, because we started with the Anunnaki. That's how we met, right? The Anunnaki basically lived 500,000 to millions of years. We don't even know how long, but the story goes that they came here 450,000 years ago, and Enki was one of the original settlers, along with Enlil and Nimma, and they're still alive. Yep. They are we have their same DNA. And I talked to Dr. Aubrey de Grey. He says that right now what he knew. Now he's traditional medicine. Or he's traditional research. He's from Cambridge. He said, we can live to be 1,000. By the time he said about half, they've allowed the technology out that they've already discovered, and this was about 10 years ago. He said half of everybody alive would be able to live to be 1,000, and by 1,000 years from now, we would basically have physical immortality. So, and the Anunnaki did not get diseases, did not die. So this was genetically altered within Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens sapiens, so that we would be susceptible and have shortened life expectancies. But it's just like a computer, on, off, on, off. So we have this capability. So what you're saying is absolutely true. So I want to invite you, since you're a filmmaker, to make a series of educational shows. But I wonder if you were to make this and outline it just like this conversation, the history, Tesla, do a series of 30 minutes or to an hour. Don't make it too long. People don't have that attention span. Would the powers of the government allow that to go out there?
They would. Well, here's And it's well, that's what the whole pavilion is about. And I've got a gal I'm working with in Washington State who has the One Hub, she calls it, Science Museum, basically, and it's part of the pavilion where you walk in and you everything we're talking about is there, plus the programs, plus Greg Braden's content about some of these things, and Bruce Lipton, all of these great content providers researchers, Rupert Sheldrake, we're going to bring together in one place and then replicate these around the country. I mean, it's hard to close that down. It's like you walk inside. It's not going to happen, though, because here's what's going to happen. Here's how I understand this reality works. And it's a good question you brought up. Look at the narrative. Look what's happening with they want to vaccinate everybody and restrict your travel, and you need an ID, kind of like going back to the old Soviet Union, that sort of thing.
It's Hitlerian. This is what happened in World War II.
Yeah.
Travel anywhere in Europe.
But we know this is also a what's the word, a bifurcation point, where there's a splitting of realities. I mean, you can go back to the Law of One, the Ra book and so on, and they say, this is it. I mean, this is where this crunch is going to be put on you guys, and you have to pick a side. And I don't mean, I mean, what is my belief system? Is this how I want to live? Am I waiting for a vaccine? Is it okay that I become, do I want to have AI in my brain or part of the wheel or whatever? Or do I want to live as a free being, happy, healthy, communicating with nature and sharing and all those positive values? Because there's a big difference between the two. I mean, we know there's a lot of corruption. And I think you and I and a lot of people we know would rather live in that new world where, we can hug each other. I don't need a face mask. I can I can give somebody a smile. They'll see a smile on my face. You can't do that with these face masks on. They're dehumanizing, which is the point. They don't even work, and that's on that document I sent you. There's a couple of quotes on there, and Dr. Judy Mikovits and others believe it actually can make you sick wearing a face mask all the time. So I recommend against it. Anyway, the whole idea is
you recommend against
your consciousness.
But
your consciousness. If you picture a happy ending, Janet, right?
I think T.J., do you have a question or something?
I can add to that, Jim, because I would.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't see how you're getting
your mic
feedback.
Must be too high. I think your mic is too high or something.
I'm on the telephone. It's the same one I've always used.
Okay.
Is that better?
Well, go ahead, add to it.
Is that better?
Okay, let Jim finish. And then you add to it. What was your final thought there?
No, just to finish on the narrative. The whole thing is to set in your mind the future you want to see. Write it down on paper. I want to see kids playing outside. I want freedom. And we don't want to say, I don't want this. Just what you want. Don't use the word no. Don't use the word don't, which I just did, but you understand. Stay completely positive. I see a free world. I see these people going to jail. I see these natural remedies coming forward. I see communication and other intergalactic groups joining us if that's what you want. Whatever you want, write it down, and every day take a few minutes and look at it, get excited about it, feel it, and that is what's going to happen. Now,
I'm sorry, I got booted.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that? Because I think that was like the end of the climax of the story, and I got booted. Can you repeat that for me?